Mom, okay. Today is November 22nd. About 2 o'clock, I was in Walmart 62. Some guys were following me around. My one friend went to call me, and they had to get off real quick. Okay? And I was gonna cry for a minute to him. And the one guy said, "Did you hear what's going on? We're supposed to find out." I thought, who are you? Because I email the police all the time. And the police have Karen around the house state case. It's protected home custody for an FBI informant. September 27th, 18 was created, 28th of 18. They found the case, the file for it, or the court order for it, November 6/22 at Central Baptist. Some lady was talking about it behind me, that they found the court order. Karen's fine, we found the court order for the protected custody case. They did. I thought you could have just asked Mass when they watched Dixie. Tell Bruce I'll take care of Karen when she's in town. The drug and gang is to protect me. Instead of her telling who those people are. They can't be police. They can't be agents. They can't be anybody from the government. So her telling who they are. Yeah, her telling. Because they can't be nobody. Because I used to work in a bank. You could put your name, your address, your name, your social, or just your social, and it'll pull up every account you ever had. Just in a bank. Just think of what the government could do. They would pull up the protected custody case, who all talked to me, da-da-da-da-da, and then all the videos of it. It's the government. It's called computers. I did title loans. Duh. I also worked in a bank and did retail banking. I mean, this has got to the point of utterly ridiculous when people act stupid around me. Sunday, November 20th, I went back over my son's house and I was helping pick up and clean up everything. And my grandson Daniel, love that little kid with all my heart. I used to tell my son he was my baby. They were born 10 weeks early and they were in a NICU and they were like 3'1", 3'7", and Daniel went down to 2 pounds and he was on every kind of tube in the world. And the nurse said, well, if he doesn't bond to somebody, he won't make it. And Jen was too afraid to hold him, my daughter-in-law. So I'm like, just hand him here. So I held him, and my ex-husband held him until she got secure enough to want to hold him because he was so tiny. And so I go in and touch his foot, and he'd light up ear to ear. And then with being that tiny, having so many health issues, and then being sent home on heart monitors and taking turns watching him and his twin brother Tyler, loved him to death. So I was helping him clean his room. Well, I had bought him a Minion blanket and bought him curtains and stickers for his room about 1.5 years ago. And the blanket's still on his bed. And I said, he looked at me and said, I thought if I kept the blanket, he'd come back. Like, do you know how many times I've cried because I missed him? Do you know how many times my heart crumbled because I missed him? I almost died to save him. Right? These bastards almost killed me to steal everything I had in life. Threatened Josh, his family, and then made sure that I knew they meant business and tampered with their vehicles and then tampered out of the bread and all my children's homes. So I kept on everything let go to me. That's why we're sell the login to the protected custody case. People like Vito wanted me because they look at me like a hero. You know, 1.5 years ago, I tried to tell his mom, my daughter-in-law Jen, what was going on. She's in line for $600,000 if he dies. He has 375 in life. He has my 18 grand in jewelry. He has 50,000 in his retirement fund. He has a $200,000 house and life insurance policy on it. He's worth over $500,000 to $600,000 dead. It was set up that I'd never want for anything if he died. So they're in line for it. And so when I tried to tell her that he tried to have me killed, she told me she didn't care. I said, I can prove it. She's like, I don't care. Go away. She didn't want to hear it. She's in line for 600 grand. Okay. So I stayed away. And with these people putting attempts on my life, then they started lying that they were helping Dave where they kicked in my door. Apparently were photoshopping shower scenes. I was waking up with bruises before I called FBI. They were date rape drugging me and telling me to say something stupid and photoshopping shower scenes, and they were telling everybody that they were involved too. And they were helping Dave go against me, okay? And they wanted to help that poor family get everything. My family's not poor. Danny and Jen, Danny works in a factory. He makes over $25 an hour, and he gets overtime all the time. He makes $60,000 to $70,000 on his own. Okay? She's a district manager for a fast food restaurant. She makes like 60 grand. They make $120,000 to $140,000 combined. He said they bank his overtime. They just bought a $200,000 hunting land, like 40, 50 acres, and with a small cabin on it. And they have another house in Perry that's small. And they have really nice vehicles. Now, are they poor? Hell no. They just choose to put all their money in hunting stuff, like Dave taught them to. Huh? They're not poor. So, you know, on November 13th, I'm over there, and she said, that somebody at work was bad-mouthing her and lying on her. She said, and they're trying to get her fired. And I said, well, and I told her what happened with Krista. How she was following me around November 8th at Sippo Library. And I took care of her. That girl showed up and told everybody that it was all them and not me and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, I call them the Pinocchio group and the Wham 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 group. And she said, Karen, why on earth would someone say anything bad about you? They would be lying. They better have shorts. Extra shorts. They would burst into flames. And I looked at her and I started laughing. And my son, Danny, he's like, Mom, you still have your CCW, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. That nice sheriff from the Tuscarora Sheriff still was there. He's like, yeah, he made fun of my hair because he has his hair dyed. And he said, and Jen's like, you work home health care. You can't even have an accusation, Karen. Why on earth would anybody think you did anything wrong? I told her, I said, well, I just got my med certs, and I told them how good a grade I got. And then I just passed another FBI background check. And they're like, oh, Danny's like, oh, you almost aced it. And I said, well, I would have done better if I would have went back over it. I studied hard, da-da-da. And he's like, you still did really well, Mom. And he said, why on earth would even anybody think you did anything wrong? And Jen said, well, they would be lying. And their pants, they better have extra shorts because it would burst in flames, and as if you do anything wrong. I just started laughing. Michelle's family, total scammers. They lied that my son and his wife were in it with Dave and Michelle, and part of them kicking in my door, photoshopping a shower scene, and then date rape drugging me. And they were going to have some kind of attorney go after me. And they were going to have help go after me for them to get everything. And they're going to attach money. I was like, I have never even been questioned on wrongdoing. You can't get money till I'm found guilty in a court of law, and you can't kick in my door and stalk me, and everybody knows it's Photoshop shower scene and date rape drugs, and I've never talked to anybody. And, people just say crazy stuff. And then to find out they knew nothing, I started laughing. They lied on them that they were helping Dave and Michelle, where they kicked in my door, were photoshopping scenes and date rape drugging me. And then they knew they know nothing. They're lying on them that they're in it with them. And they have no idea what's going on. They lied to me that they were in on it. And they know nothing. And then they lie to all these people to help out. And it's just the girlfriend's family sitting there lying. How sick is this? Extremely sick. When I realized it was just Michelle's family lying on them, that they were helping them, and they had no clue. And they were lying to all these people. And they were even telling them they were lying on me. And these people were willing to help. That's where it's phenomenal. Why would you help people lying on people? For a rich, spoiled little girl that her family could pay me off just because she's a retired judge, his daughter, just because their family member's an FBI agent out of his area committing crimes. My one friend is a retired sheriff, and he said, I don't care if there's an FBI agent involved. I don't care if there's a judge involved. The police should have arrested him. He said, because they can't go to jail. They go to jail for this. They can't get away with it. The police would have to arrest him. He said, they act like the mafia. He said, who gets away with this? It's mafia, because they pay everybody not to do their jobs. He said, FBI agents go to jail all the time instead of judges. And I said, well, they're laughing at the law in the area around me because they haven't arrested. And he said, I bet they are. Now, I want you to think about that. They were yelling, November 11th, 22. Some of the guys from the case, Maslin, 3rd Street, it's that idiot trying to steal everything from her for their family, and that's the only thing going on, and exactly what's going on. That idiot trying to steal everything for his family, and that's it. Nobody better say a word to her. November 18, 22, it's a Friday. Walmart 62 by the hair salon, 2 to 6 p.m. If they want, who's behind this? Well, I'm getting my hair redone. He walks by. It was my idea to tell everybody we taped her before, so everybody would turn on her. It's actually funny. They went along with it. He's laughing. Some guy said, is that what's going on? He said, yeah, I'm the one that made all that up. He said, and they're laughing, and I curl up in a ball. These people tortured me. And he's laughing at me. Get him. The agent that called me back, that badgered me and bullied me into a false statement. The one that made up those weird rules that they're not allowed to follow, that no one can help you unless you cry. They can't do that. It's part of badgering. Department of Justice 1729. Nor can he call me a liar and threaten to put me in jail under a threat of arrest if I didn't say I was lying. I should have hung up on him. If they wouldn't have been date rape drugging me, I would have. But you can't process right afterwards. And I couldn't think straight, and I had all those bruises, and it came out they were date rape drugging me. Bragging they were using ecstasy and other stuff. It's not funny. It causes permanent amnesia. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. It's not funny to do that to human beings. These people are nothing but extortionists, murderers, thieves, and liars. They told Ed December 9, 21 at Oakland apartment on Cleveland Avenue in Canton, Ohio, that all the tapes before were them and not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. See if someone will stop them. They think they're unstoppable. No, November 20th, Central Baptist, I'm in there with my client. I go and use the restroom. These ladies come in behind me, and while I'm in the stall, and they said, we know that one person's friends are in town asking questions, and I told everybody not to say anything. Well, they already know, sweetie. They said something in Hartville Kitchen. Made sure loud enough I could hear. Okay? And, so you gotta put people in your path for a reason. Okay? So, let's see. What was I going to say? People are driving around. Sorry. But, that those people just don't want to pay me. And they were hoping after everything they did to me, I'd die. Cold-blooded murderers, then pay me. Yeah. And they're just trying to, it's Michelle's family pretending that they're mine, pretending they have attorneys, trying to steal money so when I die they can just grab it. So somebody can save me. I don't know what they're supposed to have done to me that I'm supposed to die. Or they could be lying on that too. See, that's where they're nothing but liars, druggers, kidnappers, murderers, and extortionists. It's just Michelle's family, for it's our family watching her doing this. For it's my daughter her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter they did all this for. And our family watching her doing this. Memorial Day weekend 2019 at the food counter of Walmart 62, a white woman with an African American man screaming it out. Okay? They found it last year. And even Dixie knew who Michelle was. Like Mankin and Canton, because they sold these Protect Your Life case, May of 19. And here John's gets right on the third step up, Karen. Dave's girlfriend isn't Michelle, it's Michelle. It's Michelle's family. They called Will, August 10th or 11th, 22, Walmart 62 by the hair salon again. They called Will and explained Michelle. And he set her up that no one would ever help her. And it's funny, they're going along with it instead of doing the right thing and help her. They need to start doing the right thing and they need to arrest him. They said the agent that called me back was the one that told on me the night before, the one that badgered me into a false statement under a threat of arrest and then made up these lies and that no one could help me. He can't talk to me like that. He can't treat me like that. It's still badgering, and they have to arrest him for obstruction to justice, tampering with evidence, and badgering a victim, a witness, and an informant. And the FBI, you owe me $250,000, $5,000 per month until the case is over. The case is over. It's just Michelle's family doing this. And with that agent that called me back, stealing money under attempted murder.